Heaven knows she is irreplaceable. And girl, you look so fine with your heart on the line.
And welcome everybody. Apologies for the delays on the match, but I'm glad we got things up and running. I'm glad we got to stream this as well. Everything going on with the grand finals, Northwood versus SJSU and Collegiate Valorant's one. Paul, you and I just can't ever miss.
Nah, I mean, they couldn't tear us away from this match if they tried, right? I already cast 8 hours of high school Valorant today. I was ready to go to bed when you messaged me, and we're like, yo, Northwood versus SJSU. They're playing. We gotta cover this. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm strapped in for this best of 5.
Dude, you got to give so many props to Coach E for making sure that this got put on as well.
Honestly.
That guy is a saint, and every single player at Northwood. I'm looking at you guys. I know you guys have met you in person now. I will tell your parents if you don't appreciate him enough. That guy does so much work for you guys. But now it's time for you guys to put in work for him because you're going up against SJSU, which, I mean, by all means, it's a rematch, Paul.
It's spicy. It's spicy. The finals of Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. But, you know, I know how good this match was when it was played on LAN. We move it to online. We extend the series now, and Northwood get their chance at revenge.
Yeah, and honestly, it went super far against CECC. I think it was like at least double digits both sides for most of the maps. I think the last map might have been a little bit shorter. I don't remember the exact scores, but it was damn close. Is kind of the moral of the story above all else. And
You'd expect it to be.
With that, I do expect changes to come in, though, for the teams, right? Northwood has got to make some adaptations. Maybe the map pick ban doesn't go exactly the same. And so that changes things up pretty big time.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And I mean, it's been a couple of weeks. Fade can be incorporated into your strategies now, if you so choose to do so. We've seen a Fade pop up across professional Valorant, so there's certainly room for that, especially we're going to be starting on Breeze. I think this is potentially a good map for Fade. If someone like Tyler, right, the flex god, the most flexible player in all of Collegiate, wants to pick up Fade, then I think so be it.
What's your thoughts on it? How viable do you think it is? What's the vibe?
It's still early, right? So there's still very clearly rounds where Fade gets no value. But if a team is prepped and knows when to coordinate the rest of the utility around things like the Haunt and the Prowlers, right? Then Fade becomes kind of a powerhouse. You get absurd information if that Haunt can land in a good spot successfully. The big thing is if. Right? The Haunt, very easy to destroy before it actually pings anybody. If you're paying attention, if there's not enough pressure onto you, it's not too hard to just shoot that and then hold whatever angle you were sitting at beforehand. So we may or may not see Fade. I had to throw it out there because, you know, we might. If the man's willing, from Northwood.
I'll give you guys a quick story from CCC because, man, y'all are psycho over at Northwood. I want you to know, Tyler, over the monitor, grand finals, when they're playing Haven, looks me dead in the eye, says, I'm locking Phoenix. After Paul and I have roasted this man for probably a grand total of like multiple hours at this point for playing Phoenix on Haven. It was for like 2 semesters when that guy was just going insane. But it does show that obviously that flexibility is there. We head into Breeze, though. It's a map that Northwood loves. They also have a map advantage coming into this because they're coming out of, I believe, the upper bracket. Yeah, this is a really good opportunity for them to get a good early start to the series and get their foot in on that best of 5.
Honestly, I mean, it's kind of funny too, right? Because you look across this bracket, and the fact that Premier got to the upper finals, lost to Northwood. Premier gets to the lower finals, loses to SJSU, dude. Unlucky for Premier, but lucky for us, we get an excellent... I punched something. We get an excellent rematch coming at you, folks. And starting off on Breeze is pretty spicy as well, because this is a map that is very good for both of these teams normally.
That it is, and I think we're just about to head in. Got to make sure the stream is all right. We'll give it a second. Apologies to anybody if things do get stuffed. It's my fault.
Yeah, we get producer door, or as I like to call it, prodorser.
Oh,
that was awful.
Don't say that.
Terrible. I hated that. I don't stand by that. Sorry.
Go ahead and refresh this real quick.
Aha!
Wait, and then we're gonna make all of that go away. Oh my goodness, it's crazy.
Let's get it.
That's insane. I can do production and casting at the same time, and it's absolutely no problem.
Bro, now all you need to do is observe at the same time. Triple threat.
I've done that before. It's not great. Yeah, it's not great.
But luckily we have our amazing observer Juke here, so we can take that off you at least. We're getting started. Right on into the grand finals. Northwood starting off on the defense. Ferbsa, it's just a madman. Already so deep into this elbow position.
And we should talk comps. Relatively similar for either side, but changing the KO out for the Sky or SJSU. And I kind of like this guy here. The KO is something Northwood's been playing particularly well, though. Ferbsa, in his hands, it can be a real problem. Ferbsa on the jet. Use that up, North.
Yeah, Nasi already left in the 1v2. Does have to recover the spike. Not aggressive positioning from Northwood. They're going to let that spike go over potentially to Nasi. He's nervous about it, though. Rightfully so.
Standing ahead.
You know, careful Northwood are playing as well. They're trying to play their numbers, which makes perfect sense here, right? In pistol rounds, we always talk about how it's about throwing more bullets at your opponent than they can you. And that immediately trips the timer. Nacy's got to get this spike down and get in position, but no. Waits it out and pays the price. Dip.
Nice.
First round over to Northwood.
Need backup.
Already a great start here for Northwood, as expected. Interesting roles that we have for Northwood right now. Dip usually going to be the one playing the Jet instead, but now they're throwing Ferbsa on it. Ferbsa has been getting a lot of practice on Jet, not only in Northwood, but in other teams that he's been playing. So certainly not an unreasonable assignment, just interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been extremely pleased with Ferbsa's KO in particular. He's been a bit of a monster on it, but at the same time, This comp makes perfect sense. Tyler playing flashes is there. Does make you miss the Tyler Sky, something that I've always been a huge fan of. Despite, you know, his flexibility, he certainly does have his strengths. I think just misses a leg, unfortunately.
You know, it's worth noting that SJSU, this is one of their first outings without Choi Boy, but like their star player.
Oh, he graduated. Don't make me cry, Paul.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm missing him already, man. But now for SJSU, they have to figure out how to survive without him. So Khan is going to be picking up the Jet, it seems. And now we're just running straight on the side. Oh, okay. How much can Ferbs get? That's already one for him.
Takes the aggressive angle as well. Cleans up a second headshot all around, and Ferbs is going big. Northwood on the defense. Start off with an ace. Welcome to your own Twitch channel. The clips are free.
Oh, man. Ferbs are just putting him away, dude. Just putting him away. Amazing.
You know it's anti-eco, but you also know that feels pretty good either way.
Oh, certainly. I mean, Dip was in the, or, yeah, I think it was Dip or Ferbso, one of the two, who was in the chat beforehand saying, like, settings at Atlanta this, settings at Atlanta that. I felt like I was lagging. Well, there's no lag now. You can get your bottom dollar. Northwood hitting every shot they need to.
I heard the latency was fine in Atlanta. I digress.
I don't know. They're just in the chat just waiting.
What I'm saying is I'm hearing a lot of excuses. Oh, Chris should have seen that. The head just popped up. Oh, how's your movement? Good enough to get one. Okay. You're happy with that.
Just landed the anti-eco ace and then whiffed a stationary target. Shout out, buddy.
That was his best shows. He spent all his aim last round. Northwood still, though, are in a good position. This is the bonus round for them, so
yeah, I mean,
notably already doing pretty well for themselves.
This is already super difficult for SJSU. Cam's going to try and pivot over towards A. Does have the spike in hand, but I mean, this position from Benji as well, like, it's super powerful for him to just be sitting on top of the pyramid.
Gotta hit a flick here.
The right angle, but I mean, he can rendezvous out of this if he wants to.
Even if he rendezvous out, I'm actually like with the agents alive that SJSU has. You're not too mad. At least you do have entry tools, right in the sky. Metros snuck up big from behind, evens up the numbers. Huge flash on a 2. Thing knows where the second is. Pulls out his pistol and wants more. Now it's Dip. Trying to bait the shot. He does. Out with the ghost, but the reload's there and the pincer maneuvers come in. SJSU. It looked difficult for them. The bonus round. They've really scrapped it together here. That flank from Thig, absolutely massive. Picks up 3 off the back of a good flash and some nice positioning. SJSU, get out scot-free.
And I mean, Thig is now the veteran presence on this roster, right? I mean, Thig and Nasi, those are the two players who are like the OG remnants for SJSU. So we need to see them perform. So for Thig to get that massive hero play, moving all the way up halls, finding the deep stab, the flash to pinch onto the A site. And then for, I believe it was Khan or Nasi to come around and bail him out of that fight against Dip. Just great stuff from SJSU. That's the recovery we needed to see on their first gun round. We do have an op available now, though, for Benji. SJSU certainly not out of the woods yet.
Oh, that's a huge knife. You're just not sure it's in the back of this site. The wall's pretty interesting from Northwood as well. It gives Ollie a lot of room to play here. And just time to live above all else. Ollie, though, playing in the back site, is ready for this jet should the swing come, but playing on a 50-50 angle. This is a difficult one. Nosova's waiting just beyond the smoke to try and peek through and get the counter frag. But unfortunately, Khan's just too good. Picks up a second on the entry and puts SJSU off to the right start. Tyler, though, does the same! From behind, picks up 2, and now it's a Jet and Ferbsa's sights. This round just does not stop going. Khan down. Ferbsa with another. Our observer is going crazy. The kills just don't stop. Benji with another in Northwood after a climactic round. Come up a point ahead.
Those are the rounds you want to see from Northwood and SJSU, dude. Every player in this match feels like they can win any single gunfight. I mean, Khan starts it off with some insane push onto site, all the way deep, too. Gets such good control. But then the flank from Tyler, he got there so quickly. All the way into that window out B lobby. That's ridiculous. And then from there, SJSU, you hardly know where to look.
That was absolute insanity. And again, look, I can highlight the round. I have to highlight our observer caught every one of those kills. We got one guy back here.
Juke is
it's insane.
Cracked,
okay. Props to him, but Benji does maintain that operator. It's going to make it hard for Northwood to get in here. They're eyeballing halls, but what do they have? There's not really too many ways SJSU can approach this. Benji ends con as expected here. It's really difficult to find Chamber on this map. He's playing hide and go seek most of the time. Back of B, back of A, all the way down hall, even peeking mid every once in a while. There's a lot of great angles for Benji to play. And not only that, it's hard to counter him and get him out. Even with the flashes that they have, the tools to deal with an operator are limited outside of one of your own.
Yeah, SJSU hoping that Thig can find some opening on the map. He's all the way into mid, looking for someone to peek their head out, but no one from Northwood obliges, so it's just going to have to be a rather traditional push onto B with suboptimal weaponry. Thig does have presumably both flashes. Ollie holding this close angle. It's going to be difficult for him to hold on to, but the snake bite helps. About to push back. Nice shot there, though. Chris to start it.
Oh my goodness. Pure aggression out of SJSU on this B site. It looks real good. If getting found out, they'll throw in a little Viper's Pit. Just be sure of themselves, and honestly, considering their economy, it's absolutely the right play. You'd love nothing more than to secure this round.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 4v3 here. Northwood, they opt to try and retake this. This is pretty dicey, especially going into the Viper's Pit. And look where Nazi is, dude. The perfect discipline. Already getting one, and now he applies pressure from this angle. There's not going to be nearly enough time. If you can even remove Nazi from tunnel, and you can't. A great round for SJSU.
Yeah, with 4 alive. Remember, whenever you're doing it this way, you get to pick up all those weapons, carry all that econ into the next round. They are filthy rich now. Econ's effectively been flipped on its head, but I think Northwood are going to try and put up one more round. Ollie and Tyler are thinking about it. This is definitely one of those rounds that's very telling of teams, right? This is where you see their true identity. Do you go for this buy? Do you not? Northwood, we always tout as a team that there is no free rounds against, right? The ecos are just as scary as the weapon rounds, and sometimes even more. And bro, I think this is the exact same case.
Sheriff in his hand hit some ridiculous shots on this map. Ooh, I like this push, too, from Northwood. Getting the last orb there, so the tour de force is now online. There's the buffer to the economy that Northwood really needed in this gun round. Getting that orb does give a lot of good information over to SJSU, though. They'll assume that there was assistance there, and that this A site is the weak side. Oh, and Thig, dude.
Dude. They brought their fraggers today, that's for sure. SJSU with the man up, though, off the back of that big play. Side of sight. This is real awkward. Real ships in the night moment for Ferbsa. He's got 3 players surrounding him. He's got to fight his way out of this corner.
2 bullets.
Oh, this is dicey. Goes for it. Ooh, but Chris just crouching beneath him. Gets a haircut on the way through. Now gets spike.
Spike planted.
Yeah, 3v3 or 3v2 rather, but SJSU, they're pretty low. Northwood, this is winnable, but somehow you've got to escort Benji through this toxic screen. It's gonna buy quite a bit of time. They know where they get. They're vividly aware of where these SJSU players are set up, but you got to get them out into these gunfights.
Benji's got to hit the shots. That's all there is to it. Catches the collide, hits the second, and all of a sudden the round's real. Northwood can feel it. Dip takes the aggressive angle, and that'll close it out. Northwood up another round after SJSU thieves one away. Huge plays from Benji. Get them across the line.
And something worth noting, now that Choi Boy has graduated, I feel like we could say Benji is the uncontested best chamber player in collegiate Valorant, right? Who else could even step up to this man in a chamber 1v1
I'm trying to think.
Insane what he's able to accomplish. Those flicks with the tour de force at the end there, perfectly prepared.
Is there anybody? I'm going through the list right now. But
really
like I don't think there's a contest to Benji.
Very good, but they're not as good as Benji.
Yeah, especially when you consider just the capability that it takes to fill this role now. One that wasn't really there before, but of the Killjoy Chamber player, it's one that just suits Benji so well. And ever since Chamber came out, I think the first time that we saw Chamber, I was in like a Battle Academy qualifier. And even that day, I was touting Benji as the best one that day. And he's kind of just held that title all the way up until now.
Yeah, Chamber nerfs can't stop this, man. You can take away the trademarks. You can make them more expensive. You're still going to get tons of value. Ollie has been getting bullied a little bit on the site. Here comes more pressure from Ferguson too. Looking good for one. Ooh, the spam. And yeah, the pinch is just perfectly timed from SJSU.
Shots out from Dip. SJSU, though, just trading back and forth rounds. This is exactly what happened at CECC. Both teams got economy and then just threw up the dukes. Let each other have it round after round. No streakiness, no economy play. It was buy after buy after buy for both teams, and man, was it a close game. Chris waiting, just begging Ferbsa to peek through this, and Ferbsa doesn't know when it's going to drop either. That's the scary part. Cuts off the angle with the smoke wisely as well, but Thig, unfortunately, just catches a better swing timing. Now Benji versus 4. It's just going to call it a day. Play for some mega frags, and considering that both teams' economies are just all right, I would say. Any damage you can do is going to be worthwhile.
Yeah, Benji is going to be able to get away, keep that rifle, so no worries there. At least one Vandal will be available to Northwood next round. But I just have to credit SJSU. This B take has been phenomenal. The way that they're able to isolate these fights and find the perfect timing onto Ollie every single time. Every time. Ollie's holding the same angle and playing it like properly, playing it textbook correctly, trying to use the snake bites, the poison orb, the toxic screen to delay the attacking team and make it difficult for them to push him. And it is difficult, but SJSU are getting it done regardless.
Yeah. I'm starting to think it might be time to pull the Benji machine over towards B. This is where we saw Chamber played like really earlier on. Obviously, you still like him in halls, but some sort of setup change feels in order at the very least. I suppose if you're trading rounds, you're not too mad about it.
It is mostly an eco here for Northwood, it seems. Sheriff's available. Benji will still be holding onto that rifle. Moving all the way up halls. Oh, the timing here. He could ruin SJSU's day. He hears them. Gets tons of good info.
Jump in. Ferbsa. Ooh, narrowly escapes. Uh-oh. I may have spoken a little too soon here. Has his dancing shoes on. Does get away scot-free, despite both him and the Sova eating the snake bite. Benji from behind, able to get some work done. Shut down immediately, though. 4v4 now. This is close quarters combat, exactly like every other round. This one's bound to end bloody, but SJSU do have ultimates to use should they want to. Looking at the Seekers, if anything. Really shut this one down. Dip enabling the retake, though, with the Hunter's Fury. Picks up 2! They get a good position, but the Seekers are too little too late. Khan's got to work with very little, but they line up! Oh, no! Not again!
It's half stock. It all comes down to this next bullet. Just one knife. Oh, no! The greed! Oh, trying to get that one crispy headshot onto Ollie in the air, too. I mean, it was the right idea if Ollie was going for the fight, but he's sticking it instead, and that one shot goes wide. Perfect. From Ollie. That was so close, man. That was so close. But the way Northwood are disrupting and causing a lot of damage to SJSU when they go for these A plants, right? You saw the double shock darts come in. 2 players getting stuck on pyramid. They're not able to retreat. I mean, Khan barely even makes it back into cave there.
That was just ridiculous. I don't know, man. Ollie maybe bottom of the scoreboard, but he put the deflector shields up for that one. You don't need kills. 5,
and he's bottom of the scoreboard because he's just been getting like run over on the B side.
Oh yeah, like he is not having a fun time for the most part.
He's fighting 5v1.
This might be fun though. This might be a nice angle. How often you expect? Oh, Nazi is. Never mind. Nazi's definitely better than me at this video game.
That's good fragment from Tyler, but it doesn't fully stop SJSU. Khan clears it. It does take a little bit of a tag there from that Bulldog. And some nice spam from Dip. Hello.
Spike planted.
Ooh. This is cheeky. I don't think that Northwood are expecting this. Yeah, I mean, Ollie was vaguely looking for it. He was at least somewhat aware of it, but it's not going to save him. Now 4v2.
Oh, yeah, they forgot about Cam. Oh, no, they had the dart on him, too, just for a little bit longer. Benji, I think you just want to get out and hold on to this operator, bud.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to fight your way through. Digger's got the angle. Benji's got the flick. Challenges it with the headhunter. Oh, and wins it! All right, yeah. Unchallenged best chamber collegiate.
Yeah,
it's
man.
not close.
I mean, Cam wins that round, but Benji wins the style point at the very end of it. He gets the chamber differential. That's a headhunter versus the 2 to force, dude. If that doesn't spell chamber diff, I don't know what does. 5 to 4. I mean, we are back. Look at that scoreboard. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
This is the kind of Valorant you just love to see. And it's the only kind that these two teams seem to know how to put up as well. Just putting up filthy round after filthy round. Khan's got a bye, but only Just here or Kim and Dig at the same time. Northwood are going to piece something together, I suppose. It's kind of held together with spit and a little bit of hope and prayer, but...
Honestly. Elbow grease, dude.
Yeah.
That's what they're banking on. That's a deep Viper spit.
What the heck is this? You just push this with a dog. I feel like this is too much sauce. That's a really expensive wall.
I mean,
I suppose it does drop their health down before they go in, so like you still do get some value from it.
it actually just barely comes out of A main too, so he's dipping back into. Oh, never mind, it's gone.
No.
Either way, though.
Yeah.
I mean, nice pick there. First, they're getting out into mid. Nice, crispy little shot. Not quite good for the second one though. Kahem gonna trade that right on back. Still a player advantage for Northwood though. Man, and SJSU, after they felt so much resistance in mid, they feel pressure to go back to A. They don't have enough util to clear out the rest of the map. They want to just invest that to get them to the site. This is a nice position in Halls, a good read. A little bit of an open.
Nice.
And a nice pick, too.
3v3 now. Benji back of Halls. Oh, that's bait. That's bait. Don't do it. You don't want to push that. On the site they go. Wow, easy shots from Chris. Puts Ali in the dirt. Ali... Switch sights, still couldn't escape the pain train. SJSU just keep seeming to send it his way. If now droning out will reveal their position. Remember, this is a retake with operator for Northwood. It's pretty difficult for Benji to find anything here. The Nazi just bum rushes them. Feels like these teams are really just taking turns at one another's throats. Versus Northwood just like shoving mid with 3 players like Psychos, and then SJSU decide to just train it down Halls. Nazi will get the better of them, though. Even up the score line. SJSU are going to be pretty happy about that. They went off to that early disadvantage, but this might be the real chance for them to get back in it. I actually really like this timeout from Northwood. The first set of 2 rounds that have been thrown up in a row by SJSU, and it really trifles with their economy as well, as now they're the ones without money, and there's no way to try and force your way into this.
And these last 2 rounds have felt more decisive for SJSU than a lot of the ping pong rounds we had before, right? Especially towards A. A was a place of comfort for Northwood for a lot of this defense, but now SJSU feel like they have the full download. They've completely dissected this A site 2 rounds in a row, even with the Viper's Pit going up there. I think there were a lot of very slight miscalculations for Northwood that all stacked on top of each other. You know, playing a little bit too heavy into mid, the Viper's Pit not quite landing, Hall's control, the timing not working out for Tyler, right? Just tiny errors that all stacked on top of each other that Northwood can very easily clean up. I mean, we've seen them clean up things that were much more difficult than that. So I'm not worried for Northwood as of yet, but this next round is going to be pretty difficult. 2 to force, presumably from Benji, just to try and, you know, put some guns away, maybe flip this eco round. And you've got the one Guardian too, the hero Guardian for Ferbsa. But outside of that, it's looking pretty strong for SJSU, especially if they can get on site with that Viper's Pit.
Yeah, look, we have to like just pretend that nothing's gonna happen this round, and then every once in a while the Northwood magic works
That's
itself.
how Northwood does it, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just how it works.
The second we start getting distracted, they start popping off. I like the aggressive angle though by Benji. This is super dope.
Oh,
Free pick, easy out, fantastic play by Northwood. You see that timeout really just pays itself off. 3 players up through mid as well. I mean, absurd gameplay from Northwood right now. Who's ready for this? Not Cam! Just put in his place again. Benji
what were we saying?
is ruling the server.
Ecos? I think we had like a point we wanted to make about Northwood Ecos. Oh my. And that's the trade. Ferbsa getting good for at least 1 more, right? And yeah, it's a 2v3. The Viper's Pit will go up here, so definitely still winnable for SJSU, but they're going to the other side of the map. That's rifles that are going to be recovered. Northwood have a full-blown chance to just pinch onto this Viper's Pit.
For Northwood, I mean, this map is critical. Not just this round, not just... Oh, Tyler. Oh, Bud. Observer really did you dirty there. Happens, though. Get put on the spot. Now it's rough. Now they know where he is. Now they know Benji's coming from this other side, most likely. Chris shuts that play down. Pops right back into the smoke. Now it's Dip versus 2. Khan wins it anyways. Goodness gracious. It looked doable for a moment. And you know what? It still does to some degree. Hurt the economy, but Northwood unable to finish off the eco round. I think it's because we started talking about it, I'll be honest.
We did.
That's definitely our
That's on
fault.
us, Northwood. We cast cursed you. We'll take the blame there.
On their own Twitch channel, too.
Look, we may be on their Twitch channel, but we still have to be unbiased casters here, Dor. We have to caster curse both teams. So SJSU, you're in our sights next, guys. And I mean, they've been having a really good set these last few rounds, too. That's 3 in a row. The most in a row that anyone has had this map.
Oh, good value. All right. You like that a lot. And Ferbsa just has to respect it. Doesn't have to. Yeah, you know, knowing Ferbsa, he might, but... No,
it's 50-50
yeah. Oh, dude, Ollie! Can somebody... All right. Who's got the number for the bully hunters? I would like to call a professional gamer in to put SJSU in their place. What they're doing to Ollie is not okay.
All right. I mean, this is a great call to go back to B after bullying, repositioning to A for so long. Right? That fragment doesn't quite flush Nasi out of this position. Uses the shock darts to try and stop an Arch's push. Doesn't quite land, so Ferbsa does get back here. Going. That's Ferbsa going down, though. The trade coming through, but it doesn't feel like it's enough for Northwood. They need something here, Dor. It's 4v1, and yeah, the Brainstorm. It finishes it off.
Oh! All right, Khan. All right, I'm gonna need you to relax just a little bit. It's game 1, and of course it is a best of 5. Northwood have a 1-map advantage for coming in through the winners bracket to update everybody who didn't know before. Map pick ban-wise, though, it's a surprise to see this one come out in the first map at all. It's a surprise, I think, for Northwood to have it allowed this early, right? This has traditionally been, in all of Collegiate Valorant, the Northwood map, right? This is the last place you want to play them. And SJSU said, you know what? Do it. First pick it. We don't care. And we're kind of seeing them, you know, step up to the plate, which is a real surprise.
This has never been a bad SJSU map.
No,
either,
no.
Right? I actually feel like these two teams have very similar map pools for like a decent amount, in which, I mean, they play like almost all the maps except Fracture and I think Split.
SJSU's Fracture was okay at CCC. I think they actually played it once or twice, but...
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Northwood, on the other hand, have little to no Fracture experience.
Yeah, that would be the difference in their map pools then. Ooh, that recon dart doesn't quite find the timing.
Dude, Northwood are like cockroaches. You turn the lights on and they just like flee into little corners.
Ooh, crispy, dude. You can always count on Benji for a pick like that.
Get these. Nice shots.
Give him a second.
Feels like no part of the map belongs to anybody. I mean, still A site held for SJSU, but players have pushed entirely out of B site at this point. From both sides. The rotate will come in from the attackers, though. Northwood shifting their sights over to the other side of the map, and SJSU are going to concede and try to play some retake.
And I mean, you have Khan somewhat low on health. You've got 5v2 here. I mean, some pretty low Northwood players, but I think a lot of that is just the decay wearing off. So yeah, Northwood 5v2. They're going to be feeling fine right here.
30 seconds left.
They got every right to. I have 3 players on the second pyramid as well. It's an important round for Northwood, though. Just later?
Oh!
Player standing.
No, you can't do this. You can't do this. No way, dude.
I mean,
that's a good shot.
Dude, that was a 2v5 that became a 2v1. a 1v2, rather. Like, that was a bead of sweat down Northwood's forehead, but they pick up the pistol that they wanted. Now they're going to get a very comfortable anti-eco versus SJSU and presumably tie us up here.
Yeah, that's a big one for them, right? It'll give them momentum, head into the bonus. Northwood, a team that's really scary on bonuses as well. You never really know when they're going to take those or not.
Yeah.
This is Northwood just loves winning early to begin with. Let's see what they can get up to here. Weapons in hand, nothing at B. A stack from SJSU. Paul, you know me. I'm a fan. I like the gamble, but not in the addiction way. Just every third round. SJSU do oblige, but unfortunately the gamble comes up short. A 5-man retake with pistols at best.
There's not much hope for SJSU to even deal decent damage unless Northwood have a happy fun time moment where they just run at some of these pistols, but it seems like Northwood definitely not going to do that so early in such an important half. That they're not giving away guns if they don't have to. Ollie does have to be a big hit. There are a couple players pushing toward him, but he gets one and gets out of dodge without any issue.
SJSU are taking their sweet time.
I mean, it's mostly just playing for exits,
Yeah.
right? They want to try and catch players moving off the site more than they actually want to push in, just give like free kills away. And
They also
not
want to
only
die
free
though.
kills, but
They
also
don't want to
are-
live to this spike.
That is correct.
Oh, they could take 2 away. Oh, that's bad. One more? Ah, not for the road. No. Remaining 2 players will step in and die. But you know what? You still took some cash away. It's better than nothing, I suppose. When your gamble comes up short, I think that's about the most you can come up with in that round.
Honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
I mean,
mad.
I mean, you know, it's not much, really, considering that Northwood bought pretty heavily into that second round. Northwood are a team that love to buy up, like, Vandals, Guardians second round because they know that they have the skill to keep those guns and then deal a lot of damage in the following round, right? Like, this is a bonus round, and they have 2 full rifles and a Guardian for Ferbs. So Ferbs has already aced with a Guardian this map. So considering that we are tied 7-7, SJSU, they have to be very careful here. And here already the Owl Drone coming is gonna spot Khan. He doesn't have to dash away, which is actually pretty huge.
Does get suppressed though. Chris now back sight, spotted out. Okay, over here, good movement. Spike's still actually a ways away. There's gonna be 4 people at this site before Northwood can even think about pressing the 4 button. I don't know if this is the fight you actually want.
Once we're in trade, that's the Viper going down.
Yeah, this is bad for Northwood.
How do you get the spike to where you need to plant it? You can't escort it across anymore because you don't have the toxic
Last
screen.
player
Wow.
standing. Spike down A.
And you know what? I gotta give my hat off to SJSU, right? It was a great rotate, but everything after there was just a bit of a misstep from Northwood, and an uncharacteristic one at that, right? The spike taking that long to get there in a site where it is imperative that you're actually fast and with that spike on site.
For sure.
Happens though. It was just a bonus round, so this is the round that we're really looking at to count for their economies. And for Northwood, we're down a round right now. I think it is actually pretty important. Considering the back and forth nature of this game, every one of these matters.
I mean, yeah, this decides momentum, right? Will SJSU take a solid lead over Northwood, who are running out of economy? Or can Northwood fight back for a couple more rounds? Nice read from Tyler there. He's not fooled by that, dude. Khan just gets his head torn off.
Got a sneaky position, but man, they're just ready for it now. I think that both teams have accepted that one another are just going to push each other constantly. There has been no stopping from either side. Both of them are just trying to display their dominance against one another, and neither's really coming out ahead in this tug of war.
Nasi doesn't know it, but he's in a pretty dangerous spot.
Oh, Nasi's as good as dead here. Yeah, see you later.
I was gonna say, even if he doesn't push there and Ollie spots him, like Benji can swing and still take him down. I mean, now Chris is just gonna have to throw the toxic screen up, pray it buys some time, and fall all the way back. 2v5. There's not much for SJSU here. Northwood, a very solid read on these pushes that SJSU were going for individually across the map.
Right down 2v5. I'm not liking the on here, to be honest.
SJSU do have better money than Northwood, though, so if they can get 2-3 exits here, that's pretty great for the following round.
I was looking at their economy too, though. There's also a realm where you want to save these weapons, and it gets you just up to like a proper full buy. Think SJSU opting for this. Yeah, they're gonna group up, so it's still exit frags, but they're gonna give themselves a few more numbers to work with here.
Yeah, Northwood aren't taking any chances. They're not pushing them to spawn. They know how valuable their rifles are, so they're just going to retreat all the way back. All 7 of these guns are going to make it out, and we are tied up 8-8 on our first map of the grand finals door.
That's what we wanted, getting into it. All right, second half now. Starts to go over to Northwood. It's 8-8, but the economy is very different. SJSU should have weapons in their own right, but Northwood are the only ones coming out with money to spare.
Yeah.
Khan, I don't think, can put anything up on the board. No, Chris can buy them, so yeah, it should be full buys all around, save for some light armor on thing, but that's not the end of the world. Setup-wise, it is very different from what we were getting out of Northwood on their defense, right? Playing the chamber over on the B side, a position that we saw Benji play a lot back right when chamber came out, but not as much now. They prefer Ali over there.
And I am watching for these seekers, right? Thig in a very dangerous spot. Oh boy. I think this is so risky. This is such a smart, cheeky position, though. I don't know if Northwood would expect that. Oh, the flash is going to give him away, though. There's 2 players here. Now they know that Thig is hanging around, at least. They're going to clear all these corners.
It's a good number of people here. Tell you what. 4 against Thig. Thig is nothing if not a clutch player. Takes the angle, gets one, and you'll take it. Happy trade for SJSU. Unfortunately, you're going to lose a little bit of map control in that, and 1-for-1 trades do tend to favor attackers. For the most part, as the information lost for the defenders is way harder to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only do you lose that information and map control, but you lose the only ult that SJSU were working with. The Seeker's gone now. The No Command Hunter's Fury make for a very potent attacking force on whichever site Northwood picks. So they let that hole over in Hall bleed into SJSU's information. The pole rotates, and now they can just fully group up for B, pop this null command, and rush onto the side.
Oh, Chem suppressed. Oh no. How do you get out of this? Null command popped as well. I'm sorry, the rendezvous is just not gonna cut it. You gotta frag your way through. It does manage to get one, but the null command's just too powerful. Snakebite will be thrown in, but members advantage for Northwood. SJSU's gotta come up big. That's pretty difficult. Another suppress, dude. Tyler's just on it with the knives.
Oh, that wall is so thin, dude. The spam on the Khan is brutal, but Chris actually trades it back. Khan managing to push forward. Only 44 HP, though, Door.
Chris has got to do the lion's share here. You can hear Khan
Player standing.
trying to bait away with the bullets and does successfully. Now the world's worst game of Ring Around the Rosie is being played as both players want the smoke, but Chris is just better. Ring Around the Rosie royalty is he on the Vipers. He puts SJSU up to number 9.
I love the way Chris plays that, too. The Poison Orb going onto the spike immediately draws the attention of the 2 Northwood players. And then Chris pops the other side of the pillar, then wraps all the way back around. So Dip is looking toward where Chris just killed his buddy from. Just perfectly played in the 1v2 there from Chris. And I mean, shout out to Chris. He even like refragged on the spam that Khan was taking. So just taking advantage of every little bit of information that Chris could possibly work for. Great play from him on this Viper.
Such a pivotal time too. Northwood's still going for it though. Playing aggressive over on the A side. They want blood. Taking down a bunch of players immediately. And Nasi is probably dead on this angle, especially since they droned it. Managed to get one. Maybe another here, but no. Nice crouch. Colette! Oh no! 2v2! Second shot's not there, but it's been brought within range again for Chris. Nice flash, but Ferbs has got to back up to pick up the spike. I think they do just spot it. Misses on the head, and Tyler does manage to connect. Northwood even things up, and Paul, we're back at it again. These two teams, it's been history, right? Ever since Northwood got back into this thing, or got into this thing, right? They've been at the top. SJSU come back, reclaim their throne. These are the 2 quintessential top collegiate Valorant teams. And man, UH Premier, I know you're watching. It's so close. They beat them on an off day, but right now, these are the 2 top ones. And it's so hard for either of them to get a leg up. The exact same thing happened at CCC. For 3 maps straight, mind you, in a best of 3, neither team could find a foothold. All they did was trade rounds back and forth. Guns, economy, don't seem to matter for these guys. It's just about clutch. It's just about being good in the moment.
They trades 1 for 1, but Ferbsa is going to have much better control. Careful there. That's a tour de force you're thinking about pushing. I'm nervous about the angle, though. Hunter's Fury, that's a very shallow position. Potentially can be punished, but you'd have to push up pretty far. And look where it's at. 2. Benji aware, though. Now it's a 3v3.
Quick outside peek, and Ferbsa shuts it down. Northwood looking to put up 2 in a row. Not on the headshot angles. 4 for Ferbsa. He's looking real good right now. I mean, there's an argument to be made for most players on the scoreboard right now. Ollie and Kahem a little bit further back behind their teams, but given the positions they've been put in on these defending sides, you can't really blame them.
Well, and I mean, Northwood are just, they've identified a weakness. They've identified something towards this A site, right? I mean, it was the push last round, and this round, they just rolled over the anchor on A. It doesn't feel the same way that Ollie was getting bullied on B. Chris is now being bullied on this A site. The toxic screen is not enough to keep Northwood off of this angle at this point.
I'm not sure if Chris is trying to hold the site or trying to hide for his life. No, answer's hide for his life.
Yeah, especially as the
Benji?
man comes out.
This is mean. Oh, only if he hit the shots. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Still 1 for 1, not bad. Tyler with the challenge again, just playing great today. Be a nice fragment, cuts off the angle. Allows Furz to connect onto another head. The angle here is just brutal as you're getting pincered from two sides, and Furbs is able to pick up the lion's share of those kills, putting Northwood up to 11 and bringing him out to a significant lead.
It's been a while since I've got to cast Northwood and SJSU door. I've missed this so much. I've missed how crispy the aim is for so many of these players. We'll overlook the one oopsie from Benji. He's had crazy plays the rest of this map, and now he's gonna have the tour de force. It's a double op attack. No, okay, yeah, this is much better. Let's not double op attack here, guys. You have more than enough money to get a rifle on Benji. Just keep the pressure on.
You want this map fast. As far as I know, SJSU hasn't taken their tac pause. Which is interesting to see them. Usually, you know, they're a team that loves their tac pause, who live and die by their tac pause. I mean, we guys talked with Choi Boy how SJSU were just a late game team, right? All they needed was 12 rounds to adapt to your team, and then they get the download and it's just over. So right now, the adaptation's been on Northwood's side. They're not letting up. Just got to call it here. 5 HP. Yeah. Not much of a hope you get anything done. Furbs as well on the flank. It's going to cause a lot of problems. Colin might catch a really weird late timing here. Does, but Furbs will be able to regroup.
Furbs has got this op too. The timing is not favorable at all. Even if Khan had tried to pinch through the door there, it just never would have. And Nasi had no idea that Dip had retreated so deep in the cave. Khan's not getting squat, and now it's Northwood on map point.
Map point, remember, that will put them at match point should they win this map.
That's very
There's
true.
a lot on the line considering, you know, they have the advantage in this best of 5. Money's up for SJSU, though. They'll put an op on the board for Khan. I'm looking at the positioning for it. That's the big question for me. They've read it beautifully. Over towards the B site, and they'll bolster it with the help of Kahem.
Now the question is how much can Khan and Kahem accomplish toward B? Khan in a somewhat passive position, right? So has to get this first shot aiming toward the window when nobody is actually leaning right now. And with the Viper's pick coming out on the other side of the world, Northwood should be aware of the pressure on B coming through. Nice shot from Khan, though. He's gotten one, and he'll try to dash out. Ooh, the spam is brutal, but he holds it for a moment.
Let's get picked back up after the decay. So they're thinking about peeking through that.
Seekers here is the key.
Yeah,
Seekers
absolutely.
helps you get into this Viper's pit.
You don't even need to. You just spam it.
Find value with it.
You can just follow the Seekers through the smoke. It's easy pickings for them. In fact, they don't even need the Seekers. Oddly enough. Mystic.
Hello?
Furbs a moment. Furbs a moment.
Surely not.
No.
Now it's 30 HP.
Oh, he's dashing around. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Furbs on the angle. Has to get 2. 1. It's a flank. It's dear God, somebody save SJSU! Because it's not going to be themselves, and Furbs is not showing any mercy.
Is that allowed? Is that allowed? Can we get an admin on the line? I don't know if you're allowed to do that to him, Furbs. Holy!
Oh, that was stupid. You're not supposed to do that, Furbs.
That was insane. That flick. It was 180 degrees vertical, dude. What was that last?
His spray hadn't even fully recovered. Like that wasn't.
There was a divine being of some sort of wolf god is guiding Furbs' bullets there to land straight into Khan's brain. What a finish for map number 1.
That's the Northwood Twitch buff more than anything else. Oh my goodness. We've got the script somewhere, but it's been torn to shreds at this point by Ferbsa in his repeated 4Ks. It's amazing Ferbsa only ended up getting 1 ace that game, considering the number of kills that he was putting up on the board.
Wasn't that an ace in the last round?
No, it was 4.
Oh,
But still, that was like his 3rd or 4th 4K. So we can forgive it.
Ferbsa had an average combat score of 346.
Holy
Benji had 7 first bloods.
dude, all right, the pop-off players are really popping off this game. This is why we get this back and forth. It doesn't matter what weapon you put in their hands, whether it's a sheriff, whether Benji's got a tour de force, whether it's Ferbsa doing something stupid. Thigwerb as well, especially, I mean, is still playing pretty clutch, was playing super clutch over at CECC, and it's good to see that vein kind of continuing. But all the players are really showing up.
And something that's really cool about like the top end of collegiate Valorant is that these guys have gone and got experience elsewhere too, right? Like I can look at probably 6 players on this team who have all moved and like participated in like NSG monthlies and weeklies, moved like tried their hand at VCT, right? Been somewhat successful at times as well. I think it was Dip was just on a team that had an insane run for a while, and it was either an NSG tournament or like VCT, got really deep and managed to do more than most people expected. Like, it's so cool that we've gotten to this point in collegiate Valorant where it's so competitive at the very, very top.
Yeah, and honestly, the top can compete at such a level. We are going to head into map 2 in just a little bit. I'm going to send things to a break, make sure all our tech stuff is good. I am producing and casting at the same time. Apologies from our end. We're doing our best. So if anything's wrong, blame me. But we're going to send it to a break. Just double check everything's all duct taped together properly. See you on the end. welcome back, guys. Thank you for the patience while we got everything all fixed and buttoned up on the back end. Paul now has a full 1080p stream, believe it or not. So he can see more than he did before.
It's bigger than this now on my monitor, so I can look at the game a little better.
Paul's like casting off a phone screen over here.
Actually,
what a champ.
A little bit bigger than my phone. A bit bigger.
Hey, it's quite the challenge, but I'll tell you what, SJSU have had an even bigger one after that first map. And I said it, you talked about it, you kind of played devil's advocate and you're like, yeah, but SJSU, like, their map pool's pretty similar, their Breeze is pretty good. Dude, I swear, I tell every time someone doubts me, I'm like, dude, Northwood are the Breeze team in Collegiate.
I mean, Northwood are the Breeze
Northwood are the Breeze
team. I just said it's not a bad map for SJSU, but Northwood are the Breeze team.
It does make me wonder, though, like, I'm not sure how the map pick ban went, to be completely honest, but it's weird to see it be enabled first. That would have been like, obviously neither of these teams really like playing split. The fracture ban is likely to come in, but I don't know, just in the pick order, it's really weird that we got Breeze first.
Northwood probably insta-banned either split or fracture. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And we play 4 maps, so the likelihood that we get to the other one is pretty low. So Northwood definitely feeling good about this pool right now. We are getting, I believe our second map is Haven, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, this is traditionally a very good SJSU map, but also, I'll be honest, Thor, one of my favorite parts about SJSU on Haven was always Choi Boy. I always felt like Choi Boy was a massive anchor here, a sturdy rock for SJSU to depend on. There was something he just did different on this map a lot of the time, dude. So SJSU, as they move into this post-Choi Boy era, I need to see some stars shining for this San Jose lineup.
All right, there we go. We got a pick ban up again. I'm not sure what's causing that weird thing every time I switch to it, but it's here.
Good, right? We get the gameplay all good. That's what really matters.
I'm glad the gameplay is this good. This should be a fun one. Haven, though, again, another map. Look, there's nothing here that Northwood doesn't love. SJSU as well. Their map pool is really wide. I'm interested to see how the calling goes, though. I mean, you talked about Choi Boy being the strong point for this team on Haven, and Haven is always a test of your IGLing ability or your team's natural ability to play with each other, both of which I would imagine SJSU are struggling with right now, but it's quite the hit to bring in a couple new players and then expect that to be your strong suit.
We've got some really interesting comps here as well. Not dissimilar, but a couple of key differences, right? Mainly being that Sentinel. Chris has been a phenomenal killjoy in the past, right? When SJSU wanted to try and pivot Choi Boy onto smokes for a while, Chris was the one filling out that Sentinel role, so I'm excited to see the Chris killjoy. I think killjoy does a really good job of just shutting down half the map. And then Benji, of course, just going to be rocking that Chamber. But Chamber doesn't have the same sort of coverage necessarily as a Killjoy. So Benji, obviously an amazing Chamber player. We need to see that streak keep going for him and that performance stay at the top of his game.
Yeah, I can't doubt the guy right now. Keep first on the Jet as well. Obviously, just a strong Jet map, but no reason you'd ever want to take the guy out. What is Ollie's crosshair? It hurts my eyes. I never want to see that again.
Purple?
It's not purple. It's red and with a blue outline.
Is that what it is?
That's horrendous.
I like it.
All right. The push on to see here is, I'm not going to call it doomed, but there's a lot of players here for Northwood right now.
Waiting to find the timing with this flash.
Oh, yeah.
But actually, SJSU fall off.
Maybe they're trying to bait it.
Or wait, no, Northwood fall off. Northwood's on the attack. Door classic producer things.
Oh, I didn't swap the sides. Oh, no. Wait, to be fair, I wasn't told beforehand.
Oh, good.
Boom. Problem solved.
There we go. Oh, okay. Benji just... Nice right clicks. Good cross, too. It's a bloodbath right now.
2v3 is still winnable here. Uh-oh. Cam caught with his pants down. Does manage to just pull them up. Fly still undone, but could pull this one together. Doesn't connect the headshots, though. Con versus 2. The health bars are really low. This is kind of anyone's game. They line up. Oh, my God. I was sweating. Dude, the number of collats I've seen in the past, like, 3 months, way too high. Way too high.
I mean, especially in collegiate Valorant, dude.
Yeah.
It's always fun to see, and it's just like the pace that gets set, right? It's hard sometimes to coordinate the being close to each other to where you can play off and not let the angle get isolated, but not so close that you're overlapping. Northwood actually do a really good job of that on their attack. Keep in mind, we do have Northwood on the attack right now. We'll get that overlay fixed for you guys. Door's pulling double duty,
fixed,
so
it's fixed.
cut him some slack. Is it? It's still just Northwood defending for me. I might be crazy though. If it says Northwood attacking for you, then we're fine. Either way, this is a tricky situation. Cam spotted in the flash from Fake doesn't really fly much of anything. There we go. Now it's good for me.
All right, we got it fixed.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Don't worry.
Pinnacle production.
There's a lot more buttons than it may seem.
It's
And
look,
I've got room in my head for like 2 of them.
You take it, dude. I'm not dealing with that.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, Benji could clean up one. Oh, hey, wait, what is going on here? Benji brought out the knife. Benji was ready to play.
He wanted it.
That was the most awkward mating dance I might have ever witnessed in my whole life.
I've missed collegiate Valorant so much, dude. I've missed it so much. I love these teams. All right, bonus round now for Northwood. They got, I mean, Tyler's thinking about buying into the Vandal. Yeah. Just chill for a sec, Tyler. You got a long map ahead of you, buddy. You don't need a Vandal right now. It's Ferbs that are going to be having the rifle instead here. This is what Northwood like to do, right? They like to put a Vandal on their entry, coming into these third rounds when they've won the pistol. Ooh! Khan's just got to get out of there, dude. He doesn't want any of that business.
Gotta just bounce for now. Still, they've got a nice 50-50 angle here. Good entry. I like how they play this a lot, but Thing catches the timing. That's the one he was looking for in the first round. First in to clean it up. Remember, this is Northwood's round to steal away. Bonus. Everything's going their way until now. One more gun will hurt the economy of SJSU pretty bad, but SJSU have a great angle here to work with.
You're never going to expect Nasi coming all the way around.
One enemy
We're
remaining.
just starting to think about it, but
Oh,
jumping on the
headshot.
line, he takes so much damage, and it's enough to where Kahem can easily clean that up. SJSU on the board. Costs them 4 guns, though, Dor.
Yeah, I liked how Cam played that, actually. Going for the early peek because he knew a headshot had to come in from the opposing side, so messing them up, forcing them to spray was really, really wise, actually, all things considered. And good comms by SJSU. But you're absolutely right. The economy is not great. Northwood have money to buy. Benji. Sure. Yeah, you know what?
They have,
If Northwood did that with a straight face, I would believe it. And you told me it was Northwood, I would absolutely believe you. But no, just backing up onto the regular weapons. They kind of understand the economy is hurt for SJSU and that there won't be a full buy on the other side. They're still going for it, which it makes sense. You know, after the round, you kind of have to push your advantage, but this could very easily turn into a low econ slugfest.
Man, Northwood are just setting the pace on this attacking side, dude. Hunter's Fury coming out, too, to try and clear some players on site. Ana's just hanging around here, though. Already good for 1.
One enemy remaining.
Nicely done. SJSU
Spike down A.
up 4-1. This is the round they really needed. Both players take their sweet time getting the kill, but Dip will come out on top. Khan cleans it up. SJSU pick up a round with 3 members alive. That should be more than enough for them to put a buy up on this round, I believe. It also evens up the score line. Let's check back in on what we think of how they're playing this defense, because that was a big question, right? How are they how they're approaching their rotates with Choi Boy now gone? How's the IGLing for them? Thus far, I've been pretty happy with it. It's been kind of standard play. They're throwing a lot of the same things out round after round, but granted, we are only 4 rounds in, so can't expect too much. Thigwerb's real control over Garage has been the major highlight for me.
I mean, he is going to have to give it up a little bit now, because that 0 point does identify that position there. But you still got like nano swarms, you still got the turret taking contact, and then an alarm bot holding onto mid, giving good info. Northwood, they're pressuring towards B, but they're not quite going for a spike plant. They just want to draw people in from the extremities and maybe try and get themselves a pick.
Honestly, SJSU's played this beautifully. Kahem was there before the alarm bot was ever triggered, so SJSU've got the read. Yeah, gelling seems to be solid enough this round. Now pressure goes down in Garage. After they put that B pressure on, they feel like that player in Nest has rotated away, and they'd be correct in that. Big has backed away. Drone spots one out in mid. This might be bad information, though. Nope, Khan's ready on the other side of the map regardless.
Yeah.
That's just you. Looks like it's just a weapons advantage taking this one away. But Northwood could still do some damage. They've got Garage control, but, I mean, virtually nothing else.
Cam just barely gets tagged by that paranoia. The angle here, the timing, just barely in favor of him too.
30 seconds left.
Manages
More
to
bullets?
clean up the kill on Perp though.
One
This
enemy
one's a little bit
remaining.
more difficult as Ali did recover a rifle, but Chris coming in to make sure that doesn't get out of hand. It's all on Tyler now to try and get this spike planted with 20 seconds remaining.
Tyler, enjoy a long walk here through sewers.
10 seconds left.
So this is a tricky one for Khan to win, but does catch the angle. Nicely done. The peak timing and the counter strafe are dead on, as you would expect from these players, but still. Dropping the op there would be fun. 3-2 for SJSU, and everything's really just gone to plan for these first rounds. But gone to plan for these teams is just a close game.
Northwood, this is going to be their best chance for a while to come back into this. They've nearly got the Blade Storm online. They're going to have the Tour de Force, so Benji can really pressure towards this long angle on C. Tyler's got the null command too. Tyler needs to really show up with the timing here and
You want to
tell
play?
Northwood
Let's
forward
play.
toward whatever site they choose.
Oh, this is going to be tricky, though. SJSU have changed their play, and I love this. Throwing Thig out in mid makes a lot of sense right now, but unfortunately it's not going to work.
Yeah, great counter flash play there from Ali. Letting Tyler scale, so if Tyler gets caught by a flash, he can just hug the wall, and Ali swings it. Great angle, too, from Perps, expecting Nasi on top of the box. Northwood, I mean, the setup changed for SJSU, but Northwood aren't caught off guard at all.
It was so smart from SJSU, too. Like, Northwood had felt out mid. They recognized the alarm bot was there. Because once you see that player garage and you read that there's 2 on C, you know that mid's been left open. And Northwood go confirm that last round. SJSU knew that, and so bolstered it this round, but it just doesn't seem to matter. They were totally ready for it. Maybe the peak was a little greedy, but nevertheless, a fantastically played round by Northwood. Calling for them is looking really solid.
Yeah, I mean, Northwood identify that the fact that so much was thrown to keep Northwood off of the A site means that there's not going to be really much resistance.
30
C.
seconds
At
left.
first, they were going to run into a lone Chris here, and instead it's just a free and open site. So 5v3 for this retake. The null command not even necessary. Khan just charging through the fragment like a maniac and gets his head blown off because of it.
Respect, I guess. You still a bit of a suicide
If
maneuver.
Khan catches a timing there, he looks like a god.
Even if he catches, he still gets like 1.
Yeah,
Like
I
at
mean,
most. I don't know. Tricky stuff. Chris looking to get something done here.
One
Towards the
enemy
middle of the map
remaining.
and does open up the angle on the operator. Nicely done. That'll enable them to hold this weapon. How far do you want to run? Where do you want to challenge? What do you like to do? Tell me about yourself. You like long walks on the beach? What's the deal here, Chris? Because it's not hitting shots. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, dear God. Somebody save him.
Yeah. I mean, Dip just running all the way around, all the way through sewer there. Great presence from Northwood. They'll steal away the operator. Well, actually, they didn't even want... Well, they did want the operator, but Benji's going to buy it. They didn't pick it up. Either way, it doesn't really matter. More than enough money for Northwood.
They're like rich. They're the oh, you know, like, we don't need the used Bentley. We need the brand new one. Hire the chauffeur while you're at it. Benji just dumps his little trust fund into his operator, and you know what? It seems worth it. Benji's operator value's been insane. Even on the attacking side, Benji looked really, really good last game. The Tour de Force had some big plays. And now the opening shot down a long will be his. Should he want it? Oh, it's missed though, unfortunately. Sova gets away, and now Nasi knows it. Nasi's been able to put... Oh, no, this is bad. But Benji's good! Oh, my Lord. Somebody, please. Forgive SJSU, man. How many times can Northwood just rip rounds out of their hands like that?
As many as they want, it seems, dude. This is Northwood in a nutshell. Benji's going to be able to plant. It's 2v4
Spike
in the
planted.
retake. No alts to SJSU's names, and the Owl Joe. Kahem does still get one regardless, and Chris actually getting onto the site. He's good
What?
to cover this with Kahem. How? How have you gotten back into this? The Blade Storm mostly expended too.
Wait.
All on just Ferbsa now. He's clutched before. He's clutched more difficult situations. Isolates that first fight. The stick that halfway already.
Remaining.
But now Chris has to fight him. He's got to fight Ferbsa. 55 health on Ferbsa. Chris just sticking it, but Ferbsa won't let him.
I'm pretty sure Ali peeked the angle, saw Sova that his team like.
Here.
I think there was a big miskill. It was only for a quick second. Twitch chat can correct me if I'm wrong. There's a big missed opportunity there for SJSU to find a frag onto dip, but unfortunately, just don't find it. Nevertheless, they'll pay the pay the price of a whole round for it.
I mean, we just gotta talk about Benji too, dude. That shot he hit on Nasi was nasty. That's why you get the op in Benji's hand. It doesn't matter if he's on the attacking side. The fact is, you can just stick Benji on an angle, and then you never have to worry about someone flanking you. You never have to worry about the control of that because Benji will hit the shot.
Ooh, Ali will as well. This time ready for the push from Big. Northwood just looked like they have a fantastic read on how they want to play this. Every time there's a push from any angle, you know exactly where it's coming from. Benji is basically a wall behind them, stopping anything suspicious from happening. And now SJSU, I mean, you have pistols. It's pretty clear you're going to be playing exit frag, though. Yeah, you're just going to get picked off one by one. This story's written itself.
I mean, Ferbs is alone on the site. Maybe SJSU can steal away one gun here. I guess not. I guess they can't. He pulls out the sheriff with just 5 HP and swings it again. Like the maniac he is.
Good stuff for Northwood. Putting themselves in a pretty significant lead here, economy-wise and rounds-wise. This is an interesting timeout from Northwood.
Yeah.
You know what, actually? I'm going to go ahead and put my money on this is a genuine bathroom break. Northwood have done this before. Northwood have done this before. We know this, Paul.
You're not wrong.
Northwood have asked other teams to call their tack pauses so they could go to the bathroom.
Let's look at the stakes here for SJSU, though, because it feels like this is starting to get away from them. Another gun round coming up, one where you have both the lockdown and the no command. Reasonably, SJSU should have a pretty decent advantage here. The lockdown's a little bit trickier to use because the Hunter's Fury on the other side of things, you're always worried about dip countering your lockdown. So you either have to kill dip or force out that Hunter's Fury early. But the no command should be a really strong tool as long as SJSU can get themselves in a position where it's viable for them to retake.
Retake they will. Yeah, SJSU's always been just a strong retake team in general.
Yeah. But
it's just not coming to fruition. I think half of it has to do with them just not having the guns for the most part, but also when you look at
now they do have the guns. So they need to make this work, especially with Khan having the operator.
Well, one of the big things I wanted to highlight was that's making it difficult for the retakes is that Northwood are spending so little getting into these sites. Like, it is cheap for them most of the time. If they're not having to flash through smoke, they're not going to do anything. They're just charging in with multiple players and taking 2-on-1s. Not through the peak. Benji this time not quite quick enough on the draw.
I mean, Nasi can do whatever he wants now. He can stay there. He can retreat. The fact of the matter is Northwood are never going to want to clear A long, so instead they're walking up toward B.
Like this look, though. Ooh, shit from the night. Tyler wins out the KO duel. That's another plant. Northwood are one of those few teams as well in Collegiate Valorant. Obviously just so unique in many different ways, but one of the few teams that's willing to go to B just like more than 2 times in an entire half.
Yeah. And I mean, Ferbs are pushing all the way into A, Link slowly there. This becomes a very difficult scenario. 2v2 suddenly, though, as Khan hits a shot you don't necessarily expect him to. Nasi onto the site already. I thought he was the half stick there, but instead he wants to isolate this fight on Ferbsa.
Oh, this is awkward.
Spots him first, but the movement from Ferbsa, he's just not slowing down.
That is, I think, in the books, in like the first pages that they wrote, that is the switcheroo, now known as the old switcheroo.
Once upon an ancient tome had that exact prophecy depicted. And man, it's brutal. It's brutal for SJSU. They got first pick in that round, right? Nasi had great map control, but Northwood, like you said, the B pressure they're willing to exert is just so well coordinated. The utility they get all the way into A link, and it just becomes so difficult to stage that retake there.
All right, let's see what we can get done here, though. Bit of a change in how they want to play this. Minor positioning changes for SJSU, but still not coming up with the goods. AC's down again. And Northwood haven't had to use anything to get this. They haven't had to use really any util to put themselves in this position. And now they find themselves at an advantage. This is the same exact thing we had earlier. Now Northwood likely find themselves in a post plant where they still have more utility. Unless Chris can work some magic here. Does connect onto another head. That's the foothold that SJSU needed. They've got a null command should they want it to retake, but Dig doesn't pop it. Now Ferb's up high. Chooses not to peek instead. Double swings alongside his teammate. Khan ends up in a 1v1 though against Benji. Maybe the last man on this planet a lot of people want to end up in a 1v1 with.
I have the spike.
Benji knows where Khan is. There's plenty of time. Okay, he's actually planting backside C.
Spike planted.
Where is he going to position here?
Oh my god, this push is so greedy.
Ooh, the timing here is everything. And it's done. No!
Oh no! Oh, he contours at just the wrong time. Somebody please put SJSU out of their misery. Dude, they have caught every bad timing, every huge clutch from Northwood. They are just on the wrong end of the beat stick today.
It was so unlucky there for Khan, dude. So unlucky. Everybody has been in that position, right? Where you have the trail on a player that has no idea where you are, and they just sidestep at just the wrong moment, so you waste the easy headshot. Unlucky for Khan. Oh my, oh my.
SJSU have repeatedly, like, they dropped the spaghetti initially, and now they're just slipping on it while it lies on the floor. It's really just a circus of unusual errors to see from them, and I don't think it's to do with the roster changes, to be completely honest. It just looks like an off day.
Northwood's certainly not in an off day.
No, that's for sure.
Feeling it right now, man. Oh, big super. Oh, okay. Wait for it.
One enemy.
Now you're done.
Ferguson knew where he was. Not letting Thig get away from that. Okay, have you ever heard the tale of the Chris 1v5?
Killjoy?
Not a story that Northwood would have told you.
Look, I see where you're setting this up. I've heard the call before. A very different position. Chris has got...
Oh, wait, I misspoke. It's not the tale of the Chris 1v5. Oh, maybe? Yeah.
Could still pull like some kills out of this, but...
Just have so much money there. Yeah, it's the tragedy of Chris in the 1v5. I misspoke.
Last round
Well,
in the half.
if there's any back the Packers in the chat, I think your channel points have been well spent. That's for sure. SJSU, I'm sure there are a few of you. I'm sure there's a lot of people just from Collegiate Valorant in general coming out to support whichever team. I can tell you from sitting in the crowd at CECC and watching these two teams go at it, you know, Northwood, surprisingly, I am a fan of both these teams. I treat them both like my children. A lot of the other Collegiate Valorant teams still see Northwood as the bad guy, despite them, I think, having proven their mettle at this point. It's hard out here. SJSU coming in. See what they can get done.
Oh boy, it's just
Pressure's on. Ferbs just gunning him down. Pushes back sight. No fear. Knows they can afford the round loss. Khan is good as dead here from the corner as well. Ollie? Where is he going? Was that 2 teleports? He's just from the shadows into shadow step.
Khan?
Spike down. C.
It's not a story they would have told you, Paul.
Like, the Benji 1v2 is a story I've heard many times before. It gets a little bit harder when he gets spotted by that turret, though. A lockdown, too.
This feels a bit
forcing
much.
his hand. He has to push forward.
Last player
He
standing.
has to make the first fight. He should know where Khan is. Oh, just 16 feet. He's got to break the lockdown first and foremost. What a flick! To destroy Khan. He didn't even bother with the lockdown.
Oh, dude, Northwood have changed since CCC. They have brought nothing. They're all wearing clutch pants. Not the same pair, notably 5 different pairs. And man, do they fit nice.
You just got to keep flexing the CECC thing on me, don't you? Just gotta...
I thought you got to watch. I know the game was crazy.
No, it was.
Like that finals looked way different than this game does right now.
Northwood's certainly happier with this look. I mean, Ferbs is on a tear, Dip's online. Benji is hardly whiffing a shot. He's only lost 1 gunfight, it feels like, this entire map. And now all Northwood really have to do is get this pistol. SJSU backs against the wall in the UGC Valorant Grand Finals for Spring.
Any 9-3 cursors?
Any 9-3 cursors?
Look, I'm a fan here. I'm a fan of both of these teams. For one, I know we're on the Northwood Twitch channel, but I also like seeing more maps of Valorant.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't think you guys would mind that either.
Look, I've casted already 12 hours of Valorant today. I do a few more.
Yeah.
I'm
And
looking
what's
forward to
another
it.
hour, you know? All right, let's see.
First things first, SJSU have to hold onto this post plant. A weird position. They're wrapping all the way through spawn. If these early fights go poorly, it's done.
They don't, though. They good for one. Chris on the angle. That dart's going to give them a lot of info. Be careful here. With Dip and Chris using util. Shake hands and leave. Khan, though, does have the critical angle alongside his teammate Kahem. With the pincer maneuver, they took their sweet time getting there, but it paid off. SJSU with a pretty gutsy call. B first round. Look, it's not the craziest thing to see, but out of SJSU,
and the wrap through spawn, man.
Choi
so
Boy
much faith in Big and Chris to stall that long enough for Khan and Nasi to get all the way through defender spawn. They're just power walking, dude, as fast as their little legs can carry them. And they managed to get there in time. A full investment as well coming into this next round. The Vandal coming out for Khan, and then a bunch of Spectres too. No surprises there.
Look, I think Choi Boy knows the amount of respect that we have for him, but I also know that that round never happens with Choi Boy IGLing. It's rare they ever go B. But no, not reserved. SJSU look aggressive. And honestly, it looked the same on Breeze as well. SJSU looked to play really fast, really quick. They were taking a lot of space. It is definitely a new era for the team, but they don't seem to have dropped in quality. It does, like I said, seem like an off day individually. But the team play has been great. Oh, Benji!
Yeah, Fig doesn't quite get cleared from that corner. Now he can just fall back.
Oh, you can goblin mode for more. That's what you do, Paul. Double dip.
3 stay alive, though, for SJSU. The Vandal included in those 3, so they'll have a pretty decent bonus round coming up here, Dor.
Yeah, something you're pretty happy with. Get to put up some weapons. I think a Hem will upgrade. SJSU starting to close this gap, though. I joked about a 9-3 curse. May have spoken it into existence.
Look, we're a long way from that.
Okay.
Let's not worry about it yet.
Oh, we'll see it. We'll see after this round. You know,
3 Vandals coming up for SJSU here. They're not really bothering with a bonus.
I don't think they want to let this thing go to double digits for Northwood.
I respect it, honestly.
Yeah.
Fast towards D too.
All right, let's see what they can get done. All the utils in, knives out, no teleport away. Khan wants to challenge Ollie backside as soon as possible. Benji not on the 50-50 though to support, unfortunately, and that means that SJSU can continue to throw members towards the back of this site. Use that numbers advantage to get the win. Nicely done though, overpowering that 50-50.
Yeah.
Slight miscommunication on the side of Northwood as to how they wanted to play it, but I think that's a more impressive punish than a mistake.
The smoke's a little misaligned too, but Northwood still have a chance in this round. 3v4, we've seen Northwood get out of tougher situations. First thing is on the site 3 too. It's the long post plant down C long. And
oh, that wrap's mean though. Oh, wait, there's a trademark setup. Oh no, this is bad. They know where this last player's coming from. Peeks for it. Oh, and it's a movement gap! Nacy dodges the bullets from Firmsa! Oh my goodness, John Wick, Neo from the Matrix, whatever character you would like to name, played by the same guy.
And it would have been a really difficult situation had SJSU not gotten Benji on their initial blitz onto C, right? The trademark deactivates when the chamber is dead. Nasi gets through, he stops the defuse. Even though SJSU got blown away C long, just decimated. Nasi with the wrap saves the day, keeps SJSU not only in the map, but in this series, honestly.
Nicely done, SJSU don't look to give any reprieve to the likes of Northwood. Ollie's challenging close with a Marshall. All right, now challenging a little longer. Hits him with a hip shot. Does lower the health bars for Benji to approach. Unfortunately, Benji will also just help lower those health bars. Finally gets one down to 0. This was a little bit too little, too late? A little too little, too late. There you go. Goodness. Quite the tongue twister, Paul.
A little too little.
Yeah. It's just a bit too little. It's like barely too little, too late.
An iota too little.
Yeah, a little too little,
Okay.
if you will.
Either way, SJSU, they're doing great in terms of their economy. This is going to be a difficult round, though. Benji finally has enough money for the operator. We've got the Hunter's Fury online for Dip 2, and Tyler's just one off the null command. I think they're going to walk up and actually get Tyler the null command in C-Long, so that's going to be great map control. SJSU, they're looking to outpace that flank, though, and just charge toward A with their own null command.
All right, let's see what they got. Well, shots being ripped. Benji will challenge again.
Spike down A.
Dip cleans up a couple and still is set to live here in sewers. Gets another one. Northwood are now all here. And the full-on assault of... that's not going to save you, bud. Oh, well, maybe it will. For a couple seconds. It does connect to end it, though, and Northwood go up to double digits. You could tell on the last round just how much SJSU wanted to avoid this position, and now they're stuck in it. Benji's got an operator as well. This is about as scary as it gets when your econ's on the ropes.
And that was some of the cleanest individual positioning that we've seen from Northwood all day long. And that's saying something, because Northwood have been pretty good
really
with that.
good.
But the way that Dip, Benji, and Ollie all played off of each other there, the way they isolate those different angles and cover for each other, it's picture perfect, right? Nothing could have gone wrong there unless utility had landed a little bit more precisely for SJSU. Despite that, they're going to try and run back this A site. They want to punish the fact that, I mean, now it's just Dip over here, right? It was an attempted adjustment from Northwood, but SJSU have the read.
One's in back, and I believe they spotted the players in sewers as well. If they know exactly what's happening. Rotate in. Interesting not see a rendezvous cross map. Instead, Benji opting to play a single site rendezvous so you can repeat with the operator over there. So the rotate is slower from Northwood this round than it was last. But this is about to be explosive. We've seen the Northwood retake on this site before. And it happens fast every single time. Ladies and gentlemen, do not blink. They're going to miss it. Benji's got the entry. They're going to have to wait out the suppress. Flashes out from Tyler. And the whole assault begins. Tyler in first with a trade. Gahem and Dip trading back Hunter's Fury. Nacy spraying violently through the smoke. But all that remains is Gahem versus 2. Tyler at half HP. The null command remains up, unable to use the abilities that he wanted to see himself through the round with. Now Tyler at 19 HP, but no time. Picks up the operator and leaves Northwood remain empty-handed as SJSU keep themselves in it.
The grit from Gahem there, man. The Hunter's Fury, the sole savior of SJSU's post-plant. Northwood did phenomenal there, right? Like that
was a great start.
Tyler sets up a great entry. Dips Hunter's Fury, isolates a lot of players, gets great information. But Gahem rips through Northwood as they try to enter onto the site. That was a 3K in 3 pretty different angles, honestly, for Gahem. What a beautiful ultimate to keep SJSU competitive. Just a 2-round differential now.
Right out of the woods yet, though. Yeah. Benji's got an operator, and he's damn scary with it. Unfortunately, the rendezvous still on cooldown. Nacy cleans him up, gets a trade. 3 versus, 1 on site right now. They're trying to isolate this player. They will eventually, but the isolation only lasts a couple moments. SJSU now forced back. Chris versus 3. This is doable. This is an isolatable angle. Not this one, though, as they've got to push up. Chris has a spike. I don't know. Pushing this is so risky. Do they line up? It's your only hope, but no is the answer they receive. Northwood sternly not taking any other answers in the grand finals. Just 1 round away from match point. Grand finals point. All of the laughs to be had this semester. I mean, it's technically, we're coming up on summer, if you could call it that. This tournament, though, does span back into spring. This is the last laugh for the semester. Northwood might be getting it.
I mean, it certainly looks that way, right? Look at the economy for San Jose. Sure, they've got a lockdown. Maybe they can get onto site if they get a lucky first engagement. Maybe they can recover some rifles, but it certainly looks worse for wear for SJSU. The flash whips, and already Ferbsta taking down Gahem. That makes it so hard to enter. You're not going to have information off the Owl Drone or the Recon, and Big Con. You have no flashes. It's a tear for Ollie. Not letting anything go awry. Come on. The one rifle is the only survivor, but 1v5. I'm not giving him good odds, Dor.
Oh, and a one-way smoke on the spike. Or rude.
And the flank.
Oh, man, dude. They're just tearing holes in SJSU right now. This is a Northwood enraged, basically.
It really feels that way, right?
There's not a single player on this roster that hasn't had at least 1 or 2 big rounds. I mean, last map, Tyler was just popping off, so even despite being at the bottom of the scoreboard right now, Tyler had a crazy breeze. And now gets to come into this one and just flash his teammates in, play safe. The null command's been strong for them. Now Northwood just
almost dropped 30, by the way.
in 20 rounds.
In 20 rounds, he's almost dropped 30.
First had the most
Oh, Benji's in
insane
a
back-to-back
great
games
pocket, too.
we've seen from him in a while. Benji on the angle, has the critical hit. Finds one, and rendezvous all the way out. Not to backsite, knowing that he's playing on his own, knows he can't try to find any repeak there. This has been a really smart play from Northwood altogether. Now gets a retake from the shadows. Will be used to go ahead and just take a peek down here. Let's teleports out. Northwood can get some good info with it from the shadows of their own. Aren't using it though. That's all on this one. Oh no! Spaghetti's everywhere. Deflector shields are up. And it's 2 for 2 trade. Teams will handshake and leave, but they both know they looked a little silly doing it. Ahem.
You're fighting Benji. You're fighting the op at this long angle now. Doesn't quite get half stuck.
Last player.
Oh!
A rare whiff from Benji. SJSU just barely holding on there. Great swings coming out from Kahem and Chris. Perfectly timed. I mean, even if Benji hits that one shot, you likely still get cleaned up by the other player just because of the reset necessary for the op. So really good swing at the very end from SJSU. Not out of the woods though yet, Dor.
I know. You never are with these teams. These two have been a storied matchup for quite a while now. Northwood, though, are coming into this round with, I mean, definitively less. Benji's got at least the tour de force to work with, but SJSU have got almost inarguably stronger ultimates to play through this round. I do like B when you're playing into a lockdown, though. It does feel pretty good, all things considered. Tyler through smoke. We'll get one. The plant in.
You should run.
SJSU pop the lockdown then. Stop the advance of Northwood. Bolstering this lockdown with 3 members, and it looks great. Benji with a tour de force, though, is a force of nature. Ollie as well. Gets the opportunity to show up. It's been quiet day. What goes big, Con? Can't find the clutch, and Ali wins it all for Northwood with a 3K in the 13th round.
A valiant effort from Khan. He covered the players coming from A. He did
Defenders
so
win.
much work in that final round, but it's not enough against Northwood. That's the 3-0. And the UGC spring title to Northwood. They get their revenge for Atlanta and wrap up one last title coming out of this year of Valorant. Northwood's first year, full year of collegiate Valorant. And what a year it's been for them, Dor.
It's been pure dominance. But, I mean, look, SJSU came back the second semester, and it felt like no longer was that thrown free. Every time they went back and forth, I can't think of a better way to end the semester than these two getting to go at it. And, yeah, it wasn't the greatest showing for SJSU. Again, I'll say it every time I watched the team play, it looked great. The calls, the IGLing, the rotates looked really solid. That was the things that we were worried about for them. But when it came to individual play, when it came to the fragging, dude, Northwood's always been tough to match on, like, an average day. This was a Northwood day.
This was a Northwood day, man. Ferbsa on it. Benji on that first map, dude. I mean, what do you do? And I'm surprised, but I find myself really liking the fact that Ferbsa has fully moved in to this jet role. I don't know. I don't quite remember. I wasn't in Atlanta, so I didn't get to see if he was playing it in Atlanta, but it is looking phenomenal, right? And this is a role that Ferbsa has been playing on other teams. Dip has been picking up the Sova on other teams as well. So this is like a lot of outside practice all culminating for the Northwood roster in their collegiate roster now too. It's picture perfect. This is everything you want from Northwood, and what a way to finish the year.
Yeah, I believe they do win a bit of cash with that. Some scholarships for them.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations. I'm not sure how much it is. I'll be completely honest.
I could be wrong here. I think it's like 4K for first place.
Is it? I don't know. You know more than I do. We came into this
I
wildly
glanced
unprepared.
at the rule set earlier, and I think I saw 4K.
Either way, their pockets are lined. They're happy, and you know what? They get to go home, see their parents, enjoy the summer while they're at it. Northwood look extremely good. I can't wait to see what they have to offer. Hopefully, you can do more of these. If Northwood's playing and stuff, and they don't want to broadcast it, look, welcome back. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed having you guys in chat. Of course, let us know if there's anything we could do better, but it was great to be here. Congratulations again to Northwood, but for us on the East Coast, it is 12:10 a.m. Northwood, I think it's late for them as well. SJSU's they're doing just fine. It's like normal time over there. But I'm keeping my roommate up, and I promised them Duncan in the morning for doing that, so I think it's best we head off. For Possible, Juke and I, though, huge thanks to Juke for helping out with the production. Of course, Coach E for having us. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.